Yo, you're listening to Everyday Superpower, the place where we talk about body language, non-verbal communication, verbal communication, relationships, game, and everything in between. Alright? Two links in the description of this video. One of it teaches you how to read body language from A to Z. That's the catalogue of body language. It's just a YouTube playlist, so completely free of charge. Second to that is the Patreon, where you'll be able to join me in watching real life first dates, observing attraction and repulsion cues in real time. I'll show you the game, you'll internalize it, you'll go forth into the real world, you'll never forget that information, you'll become Casanova, full stop. Right, cool. So, topic of conversation today: how do I get better at dating? How do I get better at reading whether others are attracted to me, whether others are repulsed by me? I mean, obviously we do have the Patreon, as to which I referenced, but if you were to be practical, all I would ask is for you to assess non-verbal communication, understand the roots and the basis of how people non-verbally communicate with each other, understand indicators of interest, whether that be non-verbal or verbal, certain questions and certain tonalities of voice and so forth, and just start to find and recognize the patterns in your day-to-day communications with people. Okay, so to put a long story short, you need to understand the underlying information, and you need to be able to identify that in your day-to-day. And in order to do so, you need to be present, you need to be conscious, you need to be observational, right? So I want you to act as if, let's say you're a heterosexual male and you want to be better with women, and you think, oh, how do I get better at dating? First and foremost, I'm not very lucky. I don't really get on many dates. Alright, cool. Well, let's say you're on a borderline date with every woman you speak to, okay? You can either attract them or you can repulse them. Yeah? In your engagements with people, you can either come across as attractive or repulsive. Yes, or you can just be so mundane, you exist within the middle. They don't really mind, they're just dealing with you for the sake of dealing with you. You need to be observational. When you go to that girl at the counter because you need to purchase something at the shop, as you are speaking to her, you need to have a look at what her eyes indicate. You need to have a look at any sort of pacifying behaviours. You need to have a look at what her fingertips are doing. You have to look at where her feet are pointing. You have to look at how far her feet are, as far as the proxemics of them being close or being far away from each other, not only exposing the genitalia in a powerful manner, but expansive territorial behaviour. You need to assess why that is the case. You need to look at the clusters of behaviours, see as to whether they sway in one direction, attraction, or the other direction, repulsion. You need to identify how they raise their eyebrows and open their eyes like flashbulbs as you approach them. You need to identify why they have done so. Is it a negative? Is it a positive? You need to look at the constriction, if not the dilation, of their pupils. This is all happening one by one as you tick these boxes, as you look around, and you find particular symbols that you will then think about after that communication, and you will take forth to the next communication, and you will absorb that from there and then. When you say something to them, you will see in real time how they respond. If not verbally, through their body. You need to be able to perceive the manifestation of these bodily gestures and behaviors. And you need to understand the depths as to where this communication is. You need to think, well, is she reacting to something now in real time, or is she reacting to something that relates to her child from when she was young? Is she relating to something that's happened only tonight? Is she treating me with disdain purely because her boyfriend's been giving her shit at home and she's in a bad mood? Is her boss saying she's gonna get fired, right? And I speak purely in regards to a woman behind the counter, because there's really no easier way of speaking to new women. Let's be fair, customer service, it's a necessary. It's a great way of establishing communication skills and how to be observational, because you'll come across heaps of new and different people all the time. When you're walking up and down the street, have a look at how people walk, have a look at the clothes people wear. Do they acknowledge your existence? If they don't, why is that? Is that because you seem like you are out of their league, or is it because you are under their feet? Where do you stand? Pay attention at every single detail when you engage with someone, and even if you don't pick up anything, the idea and the reality of you actually being present in conversation will be incredibly seductive to the woman who you're speaking to, because everybody is so self-absorbed and within their own realm. So when you approach them and pay attention to them, you will be above and beyond the general populace who are just so lost within their own minds in their own worlds. That's some game. If you like that, click like and subscribe. Peace.